and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today is the one, the only, the wonderful Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Well, hello, Ben.
Well, hello. We are here today to recap Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This is an episode that Andy Cohen said at BravoCon was maybe his favorite of the season. So we'll discuss that.
It's one of the
in
best
the meantime,
Housewives episodes of all time, guys.
Whoa. Whoa. I said, whoa.
I do not believe you.
Yeah.
I knew not to believe that guy. And sure enough, it wasn't a shitty episode, but it wasn't the best. You can't have Salt Lake City and be like, it's the best episode of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. You
have to be careful. I think that he was maybe caught off guard with that question. Andy Cohen said someone had asked him during Ask Andy or whatever, what is what's one of the best episodes of all time or whatever, something like that. Name an episode. And he said, whoa, so many episodes. Well, I can say that the episode of Salt Lake City coming up next is one of the best. So I think he was like, he wasn't sure. And he was like, okay, whatever. I'll hype up the next Salt Lake City episode. I think that's purely where it came from.
Makes sense.
You know, today we're talking about Salt Lake City, but we come join us on Patreon, patreon.com/watchforcrappens. Weekly bonus episodes, Crappens on Demand, where you can watch us on video for a week before it goes out to YouTube. And we have Discord community and all those other fun things. So join us over there. Every other week, we do Crappy Hour. We had a real humdinger of a Crappy Hour this week because the two judgy girls, Courtney and Mary, joined us. And we traded BravoCon stories and talked about some of the gossip that was happening. We had a huge amount of fun. Go check that out on your feeds. And then we alternate that with Amazon Live. And so we've got an Amazon Live coming up this Monday, which is good timing. It's right ahead of Black Friday. So we'll be weighing in on who knows what. And then we just are, that's it. Actually, that's all that there is to really promote. So let's get back to this. The best ever episode of Salt Lake City. I will say this. I thought it was a very good episode, and it was a good change of pace. You know, the past 3 episodes on this yacht have been sort of at like a certain level of like insanity. So it's good to have a grounded episode. So I did appreciate that quite a bit. I also felt like it was a lost opportunity for Bravo and NBC to air. Is it a lost opportunity to air or a lost opportunity to not air? They should have shown this at BravoCon. I actually think they should have shown this episode. And the reason why is because the way that it ends with Mary preaching and you sort of have this church, take me to church moment that's so big. I think it would have been a special moment if you had this airing in that giant hall with like 1,000 people. And I think they all would have been cheering. And as Mary's up there at the pulpit and she's feeling the Holy Spirit, and she's doing call and response from the audience, I think the Bravo audience would have responded. I think it would have been a very special moment, and I think that they need to think about doing those things more.
Well, I think that would have been fun to see the church scene there. I think it's great that it came out the same week that Mary's cult video was announced. TLC, Mary runs a cult video, and then they showed this return to church. But also this episode to me felt a little bit like political season, like the season where the presidential hopefuls are arguing, because I really feel like Heather and Whitney are working very hard to get Meredith and Lisa out. And this was like them holding a rally kind of. And it's kind of when I'm not on the same side as all my friends in a rally where I'm like, no, you lying political sacks of poop. You are not getting rid of my presidents, Lisa and Meredith. I will not stand for it. I will not stand for this coup. And I think that's what they're doing. So it just pissed me off. And everyone's like, oh my God, poor Brittany. Brittany is not a victim. I refuse to sit here and take Brittany as a victim. I'm not swallowing that. I'm not swallowing it. And I'm not buying it, show. I'm not buying it.
Yeah, I have to say I was a little dubious about the Brittany and Jared scene. It was fun to watch, but like, I don't know. I got the sense that they were reciting lines a little bit. I hate to say. there was something about it that just did not feel authentic. But then again, both
not
of
a
them
Jared
are
and
two
Brittany
people.
scene.
I know, right? But it was definitely an episode of like, here's some conversations between people who have problems in their marriages. And the funniest one, of course, was Todd and Bronwyn, only because that furniture, I don't think we noticed how wacky Bronwyn's living room has become. I mean, it's just like some sort of Alice in Wonderland gumdrop phantasmagoria that's happening in there. And they're having a conversation about, infidelity while Todd is sliding off this striped couch. It was hilarious to me.
Yeah, her house has always been cray-cray, that's for sure. She's very much drag queen energy. And I feel like she's appropriating drag culture because how she dresses. And then I was watching some of the BravoCon clips. And there was one where she was on the stage and Brittany was like, ding, ding, ding. She was trying to do a ding, ding, ding. And they were like, who's the meanest person on your whatever, whatever shady question it was Bronwyn. And Bronwyn was in this huge puffy polka dot dress, which I'm sure you've seen, and looking crazy, but also very pretty. She looked great. And she's like, oh, Brittany, I'm so glad I made you relevant. Like she just does this affected like lady from the 50s voice where she's like, oh, I'm so glad I made you relevant. And everyone's like, yes, girl. And she's just going on in this kind of drag queen affectation. And I don't know, man, I'm just not buying it. Now, that said, not buying it does not mean I don't enjoy being in the store, because I think she's doing a great job frustrating the hell out of me. And I also like how she's pretty good at manipulating the audience, I have to say. I feel like everyone believes her, and I'm believing her less and less. Like this whole Todd scene, I felt was listen, you're married to a grumpy old man, okay? He doesn't want to film. He doesn't want to talk about his sex life. He doesn't want to do that stuff. Now, we can have the argument of the man agreed to be on the show, but I think he agreed to do it as long as she didn't do all this stuff that she's doing, like talking about the sex life and this and that. He's visibly just uncomfortable and does not want to be there. He's like a giant 5-year-old sitting there pouting like, oh God, now we have to talk about our sex life with these people. Leave me alone. I'm not eating my broccoli. I don't want my broccoli. I don't want it.
He is visibly uncomfortable. And I mean, again, part of that is that he's like in his like LL Bean jeans and like his Van Heusen shirt, button down shirt, while like sitting in the middle of the Beetlejuice house. But like he's like, just get me to my Starbucks mug collection. But he's definitely uncomfortable. I think Bronwyn did great at BravoCon. I think the clip that you're talking about is where Brittany was like, Bronwyn, I think your costume looks great. It's like fashion. And she goes, oh, baby girl, I have new couture, and you still have the same old line. And I'm just so glad that I gave you that line, because it's your same old tired line, baby girl, that you brought out every single time, baby girl. And Brittany's just like, that's so funny.
Yeah,
Bronwyn had a lot of good reads. She also, I just saw right before this, someone was like, I'm so disappointed that Bronwyn took a picture with Gretchen, and Bronwyn responded by saying, like she had walked into a room, I guess. I don't know if she took a picture with Gretchen or around Gretchen. I don't know what it was.
They were in the same signing area. You know how they go to those signing events or whatever, and they were next to them, so they took a picture. And by the way, whatever you're about to say is going to be truncated, thankfully, because it's a page long. Because Bronwyn can't just like have a 2-line thing, This is why Twitter used to have character limits. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, basically she said, I made sure I was in move to a different room or different space. She's like, I'm not going to be around that. So you know what? I applaud her. She basically was like, I don't stand with that garbage. So I think
which is very common to take a picture and then I didn't actually see the picture on why she wouldn't take a picture.
I didn't see the picture. I just saw the comments by celebs. She was like responding to someone. So I was like, okay. Well, either way, let's get into it. So we are at Whitney's house, and Heather shows up, and Whitney's like, hey, if you smell something weird, she's like, it smells like poo. It does not smell like sisterhood in here. Well, I opened up the broccoli to put in the veggie tray, and it smells like shit.
Well, it smells like someone dropped a tooth in here. Let's heat up some mac and cheese. Maybe that'll get rid of the smell. It's going to add a lot of fart smell once people eat it because it's mac and cheese. And that's the nature of mac and cheese. So Whitney's like, yeah, when my friends are feeling down, I take on a personal mission to make them feel better. So I planned a surprise potluck for Brittany.
That apparently was supposed to involve bagged broccoli. Because, by the way, when you say you opened up the broccoli, that means you pulled it out from the bag. Well, there's nothing inherently wrong with that, but you're probably going to like raise the chances of having like fart smell very high, right? Like,
well, when you see broccoli, you know, broccoli is a very, very strong cruciferous vegetable. That's why it has the name cruciferous, okay? Because it's strong, Christ-like, if you will. And cruciferous. And you can see when it starts to turn, but you're like, you know what? This is broccoli. Surely it can last another week. Broccoli lasts forever. So you open it to smell it, and it did not last another week. It died. And now you smell hundreds and hundreds of dead bodies in your house.
Broccoli makes its presence known. Actually, all those cruciferous and brassicas, they all love to give a big stink. But you roast them, they're lovely. What lovely little babies they are once you roast them. But before that, they are awful. Like most babies too. I'd like to add. Most babies are awful all the time.
But you don't roast them.
You know, I roast the baby, but mainly I do I do a set. Be like, this baby's so stupid.
Yeah, like figuratively. Wow. Either there's some bad broccoli in here or some baby shit itself. All right.
Did you mean to be such a stupid baby? You just got roasted by Padma.
Slobber face. Okay, so Angie arrives with Greek stuff, you know, and she's like, I've not always seen eye to eye with Brittany, but I do have a heart. And seeing Brittany so hurt, I couldn't help but feeling sorry for her. I am Greek. So she's on board with this potluck. Also, she's on board with getting rid of Meredith and Lisa. So she's like, okay.
Yeah, I think that's
the secret reason for this. They're like, let's show everyone how fun this cast can be without Meredith and Lisa.
Yeah. Or I feel like maybe the producers were like, okay, this may have gotten slightly too toxic, so let's like bring it back and do something warm and sweet. So Angie is like, I feel like to make this fun for Brittany, how fun and how excited would she be if we recreated the high body count look with all hairspray? So yeah, they're all going to mess up their hair, which makes sense. And by the way, it's so funny because when we saw the previews for this, we're like, what is going on with Whitney's hair? She looks like a disaster. I think this may have even made it to a trailer at some point. And Whitney's hair is like up. And we're like, God, Whitney is a disaster this season. Little did we realize it was part of a high body count hair challenge or event.
That's the best thing about Salt Lake City when they showed the previews and they're all fighting in crazy outfits. Every scene is like a different costume, you know?
Yeah.
So Heather's like, I'm in, but just make me look cool. And she's like, well, Heather, we don't have much to do with you. It's a version of this hair, just bigger. And she's like, really? A version of my hair? Really? Calling me high body count hair? The only person I've made love to all year is Captain Jason. Wait, we didn't make love. We did. We did it. We didn't. We did. We didn't. You guess.
What?
Did you see the thing with Heather and Jason? The clips of Heather and Jason at BravoCon?
Now what?
It was so good.
Oh my gosh, still going on.
Someone's interviewing her and being like, so what's this with you claiming to have banged Captain Jason? And she's like, nothing happened. The thing is, we were just on this trip and we spent so much time together and it was so fun and we got so close. And Whitney's like, but there's Captain Jason right over there. What a confinkadence. What a confinkadence. Line. So Jason comes over and the lady's like, so did you fuck Heather or not? And he's like, oh, I just like to say nothing happened. She's like, oh, really? So that's what you say to all the girls? Just that's what you call nothing happening? Well, I guess that I'm just going to be the sacrificial lamb for Captain Jason to deny everything with multiple girls. And he's like, whatever. So he's like, yeah, nothing happened, but I had a great time with these ladies. And then they walk on to the next person on the red carpet and you can see Heather grabbing his wrist and him like shaking her hand off of his wrist.
Oh God.
The thirst.
This is a direct callback to the black eye when she was so slippery about the black eye. And when she was like, well, I don't want to let everyone know why. Well, I did know, but like her story kept on changing. That's what this is like. And last week I talked about this, and I think even though I felt like I went on my way to say I'm not calling Heather ugly, a lot of people still felt like I was saying that she was too unattractive to land Captain Jason. And I 100% do not believe that. And I'm sorry that that's how it came out. What I meant is that she was pulling some George Glass shit. Like, oh my God, he's so into me. It's like, he's the captain. He's not, like, this isn't happen. I just don't see it happening, Heather. But she keeps on alluding to it in a way. And she's like drawing this out. You're like, okay, all right. Okay, Heather. All right, go on. Just have fun with this.
She is.
I just want to clear that up.
I'm embarrassed for her. Just stop. And then him on the red carpet denying it and her being like, I'm the sacrificial lamb. Just make it stop. So Mary comes and she refuses to get her hair teased. She's like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, you're not.
I don't like this person. Yeah, you're not touching my fucking hair. So Brittany's coming, and so they all hide because it's like a surprise. Like, surprise, we had a fart smell party for you. Can't wait
I know.
to walk into this human waste party. Smell.
She's so excited. She's so excited that they just did something for her. She's like, oh my God, I'm so touched. I often say, ding, 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 ding. What about me? You know how I always do that? Isn't that so funny? It's like my tagline. Isn't that so funny? But guess what? Today is all about me. This is exactly what the doctor ordered for me, is to have all the support from the women that I love.
Oh, honey, these women all hate you.
Yeah.
which is the funniest thing. So Bronwyn's like, yeah, well, I set this up for you. This is a mobile teddy bear station. So you can pick one that you want to make, and then we can replace your unicorn. Okay. So pick the one you want me to replace your unicorn with. Okay, baby girl. Okay, baby girl.
Baby girl. By the way, I was mildly fascinated by the act of making these animals, because I've never been to a Build-A-Bear. To be fair. And so I've never seen it happen, but I thought with the Build-A-Bear, they just had pre-stuffed parts that get assembled together. I didn't realize they get filled up like a balloon. So to see this, like, at first I thought it was a popcorn machine, but to know it was actually like a machine full of fluff, and they just stick the thing up to like a hose and it fills up with fluff. The process was fascinating.
It was also really cool to see them do it just using Whitney's old broccoli. I thought that was a really good use of old stuff. So they all smell like fart, which is great to send with Brittany. Yeah, I've never done a Build-A-Bear either, because I'm not a fucking creep. Like, what 50-year-old man do you need to see making a Build-A-Bear? Jared. But also, I thought it was different too. I thought you would get a bear and then you would kind of build it like a Mr. Potato Head and dress it.
Same.
Give it its accoutrement. But this whole, like, it's already all put together, you just fill it up. That's weird.
No, I think you choose different aspects of it and then you fill it up, right?
No, I mean, it looked like they were grabbing the skins that already had everything on them, and then they were just shoving them full of air, I thought, and then putting a little talkie thing in there. I don't know.
I'm going to need to...
what? Maybe I'm wrong.
I may need to do some field research on this one. Everyone, meet me at Build-A-Bear.
So Bronwyn's like, yeah, I don't have a happy history with Brittany, but, it sounds like she really went through it on the plane, and, I might have literally kicked it off by throwing the stuffed animal overboard.
I mean, is she over 50 and clinging on to a stuffed animal? Yes, but it's not nice for me. So I'm going to make it up to baby girl. And now I can begin to make amends, and I hope a half-ass recording and a bear will skyrocket me to the top of her list of favorite people, like it did for Jared.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
So they're all going to make recordings on these tiny little things that you put in the bear. So she'll have a bunch of talking bears, and they record their little things and gather on the couch and will listen to these recordings. And Whitney's is like, Brittany, you are so strong and courageous. I love you so much. Mwah.
I haven't seen Brittany being strong or courageous, but that's okay. And then Angie's is, I said, Brittany, you have beautiful hair and I love you, in Greek.
Mine would say, Mom, where are you? Is Mom out again?
Mom would say, remember the steamers? Never forget the steamers.
Mine would say, we're going up, 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 because we're golden.
So Heather's says, I love you, and I'm so glad we're friends.
And Bronwyn's is just like, you're a star, Brittany.
Bronwyn's is total. Bronwyn gave her the one that she needed to hear the most. You're a star. She's
But it's
probably
also
pressing that
so
button every single
sarcastic.
day.
It's just so sarcastic. You're a star, Brittany.
Yeah, the most insincere one is that. And then Bronwyn goes, I tried to sound like Jared. And Heather goes, Mary, tell us what you recorded, which is funny in retrospect because Heather knows exactly what Mary recorded. So Mary's like, no, she can hear it. So Brittany presses it. And we hear this shh. And we're like, okay. And we're like waiting for Mary because I think we all know we expect it to sound something like, wait, is this thing on? Like, you think that's what she's going to say? It's just nothing.
And she said, Bronwyn's like, well, what did it say? And Mary says, nothing. I didn't say anything. Bronwyn's like, well, at least it's not a negative recording. So funny. And Mary's like, no, yeah, on the boat, I had a problem with her. So we see a flashback to Mary and Brittany arguing on the boat. And Mary saying, Brittany, you're not cool. You're not cute. And she's saying, you're the least Christ-like person I have ever met.
Mary's like, okay, good. So Mary says, I'm being cordial because what Meredith did was not okay. That's how, see, this is really the smoking gun here, you know? I mean, if Mary hates Brittany just said that she's unchristlike. That is drawing blood in a Mary circle. And the fact that she's still going to this supporting Brittany thing, that does make me think that that Meredith was not just merely venting quietly to Lisa.
Oh, I don't think she was venting quietly either. I don't think anyone's thinking she was venting quietly. Are they? I just literally don't care. I mean, I see Meredith act like this on every episode, and then suddenly it's on a plane and everybody's acting like it's the worst sin ever just because she was on a plane. I just don't buy it. I don't think it's a reason to try and get someone kicked off the show. And I think it's crazy that, no, I'm not saying it was polite. I think Meredith and Lisa can be horrible. Okay. I'm not saying that they weren't horrible. I'm just saying it's not a reason for the whole group to ice them out and kick them out. It makes me crazy. And for everybody to act like Mary is some bastion of honesty, like, oh, Mary said it. Mary has a whole documentary coming out about how she treats her cult members or whatever. So I don't know. I'm just not fully on the train. I think Meredith and Lisa are two queens of the show, not the queens, because I think the show has a lot of queens. And I don't want to see them iced out and kicked off. It's better with them.
They're not going to get iced out and kicked off. It's just like, this is the narrative of the season so far. And as we saw, you know, Portia Williams got into some sort of issue on her flight, and there were air marshals that took her right off. So we do know that if there's enough of a snickersnee, that air marshals will intervene. So hard to know what the truth is here. But anyway, Mary is she's being cordial because she's being cordial, and Bronwyn's like they just toast to higher body count, hair, and friendship and everything. And Brittany's like, I love you all, I really do. I see a core of women that I can respect and trust right here, and I feel safe with you all, because Meredith crossed the line. And it's going to be hard for me to come back from that line. Unlike all the other lines we continue to cross every single season. Like the time I started a rumor that Lisa did Jizz for Jazz. But Meredith's line was the worst line because it happened on a plane.
Yeah, well, Meredith did reach out to me. And she said, I don't know what they're talking about, you know, because she never spoke directly to you. So she was having a calm conversation, she said, with Lisa about you. And she said, I was mad at Brittany. Yes. Was I saying awful things about Brittany? Yes. You know, but she did have headphones in and she couldn't eavesdrop on my conversation. So that's what she said. That is exactly what she said. And Whitney's like, yeah, well, I thought she was crazy for the screaming because this takes it to a whole nother level of delusion.
Well, she told me that her and Lisa did nothing to you. So that's what she's saying. But I'm trying to reconcile my feelings with Meredith and Lisa. But like, where do we go from here? like, once this party's done, like, what direction do we walk in to get out of the house? There's like a lot of things to talk about. Like, where do we go?
Yeah, and I think Lisa is fucking crazy, okay? And she said she's not going to be responsible for anything.
Wait, when did you talk to Lisa?
Yesterday, like I'm sitting at a table with her and it's like she's rewriting history. She's telling me a completely different version of what I physically saw when I wasn't sleeping most of that trip. And I think that she's trying to force me to believe her version of what happened. And I think they're both in the wrong. But at the end of the day, you get nothing for nothing. And when I was sitting with her, I thought, well, we have history. We have sisterhood and shared experiences and things that just make me want to ride hard for them. You know, as you've seen this whole season, as I've tried to turn everybody against them in every scene. But I can no longer do that if they cannot acknowledge what they did was wrong, and they have to make amends with you, Brittany.
And Mary's like, yeah, that's the only way that this will change. It might take all of us saying that is not what happened. We may have to do an intervention of sisterhood. And Brittany's like, I mean, if there's no accountability taken, there's no moving forward with either of them. Bronwyn, do you mind if I open this up right now? Because I'm making an observation that has nothing to do with what we're talking about at all.
Oh, say what you want to say, Brittany. Say what you want to say. You're opening it up, huh? Okay, spoiler alert, opening it up. Go ahead, Brittany. Whitney. Open it. Open it up.
So as long as we're talking about Meredith on a plane, here's something that has nothing to do with that. You're not wearing your wedding ring.
Oh, you noticed, did you? Wow. Did you? Yeah, I'm not wearing it. I'm not. Yeah. So here's what happened. You know, Whitney knows that Todd left the house for a couple of days after we came back from Barbados. And, you know, there were tweets. You guys might have seen them. Somebody saw him on a plane and he had a photo on his phone, a photo. He was texting somebody. So, yeah, a girl, something like that. And instead of just saying it's not a big deal, here's what happened. I'm an idiot. You know, he was really defensive and I was exhausted. So I was done. And you know what? I was like, you got to go. You got to go, baby boy. You got to go.
I feel terrible for Bronwyn. Last year, she opened up to the sisterhood about the vulnerabilities in her marriage, and it doesn't seem to be improving. Oh, God, I feel terrible for her. And isn't it funny that I like Bronwyn now that she's dealing with so much shit? So, do you want time or are you done? What do you think, Bronwyn?
Well, I haven't spoken to him for a few days. And he was texting me. He wanted to talk. You know, and you know what? I stayed with it because I said I needed time. So I stayed with that. But you know what? What embarrasses me? It's the humiliation and, you know, it's the secrecy because you know what? It's not a marriage ending conversation, but it is a life changing one. And to be able to say it isn't working and I want a different thing. And Todd and I don't have an arrangement, but if we did have an arrangement, you know what? I would be an adult and I would talk about it. I would have an arrangement. Maybe I'd have an arrangement. Do we have an arrangement? I don't know. Watch last week's scene and see if you can figure out whether or not we have an arrangement. Yes, no, yes, no.
Wow. It's like renovating, it's like reinventing.
Brittany's like, ding, ding, ding. If you get rid of some of those rings, can I have one?
I think someone needs to tell Todd about privacy screens. I'm not encouraging his activity, but first you were caught DMing with a woman by your stepdaughter because you were doing it on an iPad, which is a larger screen than a phone, and you did it, and your stepdaughter saw you doing it because you're sitting there on the couch and didn't realize. Now you're on a plane and doing the same thing, sir. You have to be better at this. If you're gonna be flirting and cheating, you at least gotta at least attempt to be discreet about it. But like he keeps getting caught in like very obvious ways. What is wrong with him?
Messaging. Never trust it. Never trust it. And get some Snapchat. I mean, that shit disappears, right? Isn't that the point of that?
But no, the problem was that he was texting like a woman he was sitting on a flight. And I think we all know, okay, that when you're sitting on a flight and you look through the cracks of the seats and you see someone texting, you're going to see I'm looking.
Yeah.
I don't really care what they're texting, but I'm always like, what's going on over there? I got nothing else to do. I want to read what you're writing to Nancy. Uh-oh. Yeah. Did you water those plants? Because as far as I can tell, this person's very concerned about it. You better get on those plants. So I'm always gonna be like, And especially if you're someone who's known, honestly, if you're known, like if you're texting and they have view of your screen, they're gonna take a look.
Yeah. So next we go to a real fun scene, Mary and Robert Jr. pulling up to her church. I think it's time to put Robert Jr. to bed as far as the show goes. I don't know that we need to keep dragging Robert Jr. out. Something is clearly wrong. I mean, we know that he's got problems. He's in jail again right now. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Or he got arrested again?
He's like on day 9 or 10.
I think he's just not healthy enough to be on TV. Like, we just need to take him off. So they go into the church and they've renovated. And Mary is like, wow, it's like opening the doors to a new home. And there's no place like home. And, we know how that turned out. Wizard of Oz, someone got a house dropped on him. That's not the thing you want to be quoting when you walk into a church. So she comes in. But they
also got a major movie franchise and Wicked for Good in theaters this Friday, everyone. I'm just kidding. We have no time to that. I know some people are like, wait, they go to BravoCon. Next thing you know, they start spouting off NBCU. Bullshit.
So she's checking it out. Robert, they're both in red, which I guess is their church color. He's even got red Timberlands on, which are nice. And so they come in and check out the church. And he's like, wow, you're just a natural interior designer, Mom. Wow. It's like, yeah. And sometimes I can be critical. You want to sit in our seats? Let's make sure nails aren't still coming out of these. Okay.
I know. Okay. That's what I was thinking the entire time. Like, what nails are poking through those cushions? Because I am not convinced that they've all been taken care of. That's a lot of cushions and a lot of nails.
Not that this cult documentary is coming out. I'm wondering if it's just built into the seats, like to give people the stigmata,
You just get
it's just a special
you get stigmata and just are they still stigmata if they like happen in your back?
Well, he was nailed all over the place. Like, you can be holding a Bible or something and then you just nails pop out and puncture you and then disappear really quick. And you're like, oh my God, it's a miracle.
So Robert, they have a very nice and frank conversation about his struggles. He talked about having gone to Malibu, to rehab in Malibu, and learning about having a higher power, and that other people are struggling with it, and how he didn't really talk about spirituality with other people who are in rehab. And Mary's like, well, but you have to. That's actually when you have to, because like you don't want to go dark on people when they sort of need that. And Mary's just talking about trying to sort of help him get out of his loop. And it's very heartbreaking to watch, knowing that he's in jail right now, knowing that he's in a real deep struggle. Like, it's a very scary struggle that I think we're all hoping he's able to pull out of. But like, it's very concerning.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm going to open the church back up. And she's inviting her friend group. And she's like, I've just never seen a group of women who act like little kids. I've just never seen it. And I'm just like, you need God. And then you need God. And Lisa's face pops up. Whatever faces were popping up, she was saying like, you need God, you need help, you need Jesus, you need the Lord. And then at some point she says, and you need your mind back. And it pops up Lisa's face.
Yeah, it was hilarious. So now this is, by the way, this is an episode of serious conversations between people, which it actually was good TV because they felt very real. So here comes one that was pretty intense, and it's Lisa and John Barlow. And Lisa's like, oh my God, I'm so excited to see how this dynamic with Jack and Henry is when Jack gets back. I feel like they'll get along so well. And I'm so excited that we're going to have a scene talking about our children and nothing but our children. Okay, your turn to talk, John.
Yeah, I don't know, because when I came back, I was still a dick to my brother. So who knows? And she's like, oh, you're like a douchebag. You were like a douchebag, right? Yeah, you know what? You irritated me so bad the other day in the car. You really irritated me, John.
Which time?
Yeah, like when I was trying to tell Henry my thoughts.
Oh, were you telling Henry your thoughts, or were you telling him how to think / throwing the new watch I gave you out the window?
Yeah, but I was telling him my thoughts, okay? And then you were like, oh, you should say it like it is. You should say it like this. You should say it like this, and stop saying it like that. That just bugged me so bad, John. It bugged me real bad.
Yeah, things are like off with John. So I gave Henry advice and then John corrected how I gave him advice. And I'm like a grown woman. I'm a mom. I'm someone who goes to parties with like Blake Lively and Ben Affleck. And I don't want to be corrected with how I speak to Henry. But it's like not about like one specific instance or one specific thing. It's just about the fact that I go to really cool parties and lately in our marriage, I feel invincible. Ah!
Yeah, so she's basically saying, she's trying to talk to Henry, which we know how she's talking to him. She's like, no, Henry, here's what you should do. And John is like, no, well, Lisa, maybe he can do what he wants. She's like, how dare you? How dare you come for me? Which is what this whole conversation sounds like. And it's every conversation that John tries to have with Lisa where she can't understand anyone else's point of view but her own. And, most of this I look at as John's journey because it's like watching John learn how to speak in his relationship, which is crazy because I don't think he's ever stood up for himself until the past couple of years because now he is and she doesn't even know what to do with it, and he's like, yeah, but you have an opinion and I also have an opinion. And she just blinks like, what?
But he keeps smiling too.
I'm sorry. Did somebody order an opinion for John? Because I've never ordered that. Okay.
I'm sorry, opinions aren't on the Wendy's menu, so I don't think you can say that. He's like, so should I just not say anything? She's like, no, but I just don't want you to tell me how to talk or how I should be thinking. Like, that's what I do to you, but not you don't do it for me. I'm the one who's on a TV show, John. He's like,
well, I don't. He's like, I don't tell you how to talk or how to think. She goes, yeah, you did. You did the other day. And he goes, well, it was probably not telling you how to talk, but maybe telling you from a guy's perspective. She's like, really? I'm going to tell you it from Guy Fieri's perspective because I know him. Okay. You know what? I was just trying to tell Henry to go to Flavortown and that's it.
I think what hurt me is that I didn't feel validated in my feelings because Flavortown's actually a really good restaurant. And I hate when people do that. I'm around a lot of girls that are committed to not seeing me and not understanding me and not hearing me. And but with John, it just feels so much bigger and so much more triggering. Ah! By the way, she's also in her cowboy outfit, which is in her confessionals, which is very distracting.
Yeah. You know what? I want you to see me, feel me, hear me, touch me. Okay, I think that's just Tommy. Whatever, John. Since when do you listen to musicals? Who is this John? Can I please have my cracker back? My just saltine cracker. Can I have him back?
Oh, he's a pinball wizard. Sometimes you don't listen. Actually, a lot of times I don't listen. I think 90% of the time I don't listen. What? You're supposed to say, of course I listen. But you're admitting you don't listen. That's not right. I think you guys always put that on me. And I feel like I'm a good listener. For instance, remember the other day when you said you wanted to go to Nicaragua? I said I wanted to go to Paris. I'm pretty sure you said Nicaragua. Paris.
John, you know what? Don't even do that for real. Are you kidding me? You know what? I'm a great listener and I'm really good at you're a great listener. Yeah, I'm a great listener. Are you kidding me? Say something. Okay. Well, you see, I heard that. I heard it. God, John. So he's like, oh, really? This is you listening. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Oh, really? Did you say something? Oh, yeah. Scroll, scroll, scroll. And she's like, really? So now, you know what? You're so annoying right now. I just feel like we were always on the same page. You know what? And you didn't even have to finish a sentence because I already knew what you were saying. That's the point. He's never finished a sentence. Do you even understand? That's literally his point.
And John goes, well, I feel like you want me on your page and that's it. If you want to get into the nuts and bolts of it, if we're not on the same page, it's because I'm not on your page. That's the way it feels. You don't see it.
Yeah, but I hate that you always put it on me. Why does it have to be your page? It's just a page. Why can't it just be a page? Why can't we just both be on a page?
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
By the way, who was telling us, was it on this show or did someone tell us this over this past weekend that they were talking to John Barlow and he just stopped mid-sentence because he's so used to getting cut off?
Me. That was me.
You were the one?
We were talking to Lisa and John, and by the way, who are both very nice, so we were talking to them and
oh
Lisa
my God,
was talking to you and I was talking to John and I would be like, so John, how's the weather? And he'd be like, well, and he would stop. And then I was like, go ahead. He just kept stopping after one or two words. And I was like, wow, you literally cannot even finish the sentence. I was dying.
We ran into John Barlow every single day of BravoCon. And like the two people, and Seth. And I'll tell you, John Barlow is, when I tell you this man is such a sweet man, he is so sweet and lovely. And he was always like, hey guys. And he wrote his little message like, great meeting you guys. He is so adorable. He is so lovely, that John Barlow. I mean, we'll still make fun of him if we need to. But let me tell you, everyone, he was adorable.
Yeah. So he's like, you're always talking about feelings and how you feel and this feel, but you don't know how I feel, and all we talk about is business. And there's nothing else to talk about at this point, I don't think. And she's like, oh my God, do you like feel that for real? Do you like really feel that for real? Is that Philly for really? Like, what do you, is that real? Is it real, John?
It's like, yeah, I mean, how do you not feel that? I actually, you know what? My heart broke for her in that moment a little bit, because that's a real tough thing to say. If the person that you love says, we don't have anything to talk about, we just only talk about business, it's like, that's a little bit of a dagger in the heart moment. And you can see, when Lisa's like really hurt, like she gets this frown, she gets this real big frown. It really comes down, like her mouth really just does like a classic frown, like emoji style. And she like looks down a little bit, and then she starts, if there's something nearby that she can start to fold, she starts to fold it in her fingers. She's like, wow. And she starts to fold a tissue or a napkin, like she's going to use it to dab her eyes, but she never quite gets there. So she starts doing that. And the producer's like, so what do you feel when he says that to you? And she's like, it hurts my feelings. Oh!
Yeah, but like, I don't feel that with you. Like, I feel like we talk about everything, like, maybe we're not doing that as much anymore, like, you don't hug me as much. You don't hug me as much.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about a lot of things. For instance, hey, did you ever send out those invoices? Or like, hey, did we get any of those boxes from Uline? Or like, hey, did we pay all our vendors? Things like that. That's business, Lisa. No.
I made a pie chart, and it's going to show us like how much you've talked and how much I've talked. Okay.
Well, it feels like, I'm not sure that is business technically, but it feels like business. No, it's not business. And then we do a PowerPoint afterwards and a conference call, and we're going to loop people in and per our conversation, but it's about us.
I think we both just feel like we're really not seeing each other right now. Like right now, you look like a breadstick. You're literally talking to a breadstick. Oh my God, no wonder it won't hug me. You know what? Get some arms, stupid breadsticks.
Don't just throw it on the floor like that.
So then we go to Brittany and Jared at a park, and they see each other and they hug each other very long. And it's very intimate, guys.
Yeah, he goes,
They both do a deep breath into each other. She's like, oh, God, it's been 3 days. 3 days, Jared.
Yeah, Jared and I are still on a break, but I'm still reeling from what happened to me on the plane, and it really means a lot to me that he reached out and is thinking about me, and frankly, it gives me some sort of glimmer of hope that for the future for us. There were cameras, so that's all that you needed to know. So he's like, well, I'm still trying to put my finger on exactly what happened. She goes, with the flight and stuff, which is the reason why you came here? No. I went to Justin's house, and he's like, oh yeah, Brittany's flirting her butt off with Captain Jason and all sorts of guys that are on this boat and cabin boys and things like that. So he's not even there to check in on her about the flight. He's just like, I heard you were talking to other men.
Yeah. And so we see a flashback of her flirting with everyone. Like, hello, muscles. Oh, hi. Do you actually drive the boat? Want to do it with me on your lap? Grabbing everybody's arms and stuff. And he's like, I was under the impression that we were trying to work through stuff. And clearly, we're not. She's like, oh my God, it's just so confusing. I'm just so frustrated. I mean, okay, I'm not trying to minimize what you're doing here, but like, I literally thought I went through the most traumatic experience of my life. And you're not even here to talk to me about that. You're here to ask me about flirting with boys.
Oh, no, I care. I'm sorry. I care. But here's the thing. The last 2 years, I have just...
The last 2 years, you haven't even committed to me. I get it.
Britt, You run every 5 seconds. What I'm looking for is someone that's stable.
Oh, whoa. So now I'm not stable? Why don't you just shake my seat and pull my hair and spill some champagne on me?
Truth. You are a ride until it seems difficult. You're a ride or die until it seems difficult, or, oh, this might be a problem. And then you are, I don't know, a freeze, a flee, a run. That's who you are. It's like I throw up a red flag and suddenly you want to leave. I don't understand. Like, why can't you just be stable and hang out with toxicity?
Clearly, I've laid it out so many times. I want a committed relationship. That doesn't make me unstable because he can't commit. Can he ever stop the mind games?
What are we doing? Can we please just cut to the chase? What do you want to do, Jared?
Well, you want a definitive answer when you just got off a boat? I mean, you're on a 30-day, how's that going? A fast from me? A 30-day fast from me and Osmond? And how's that going for you? Are your bones weakened?
So he's holding her coat. So she reaches for it. And he's like, no. He pulls it away. She goes, but please, let me have my coat. Can I just please have it? I'll take my 30-day break and I'll just go.
Okay, if that's what you're going to do. You're going to walk? Well, good luck in those shoes, honey. And she's like, wah! It's like in big wedges.
She stumbles
like falling
on the
all
rocks.
over the place.
She's like,
Wow.
This is exactly why I want to break up with you, because you took me to a rocky area when I don't have the right shoes for it. I'm out of here. Bye. I'm tired of it.
So she walks away, but then she stops on the path so he can catch up. And he's like, I'm walking slower because I respect my shoes. So please give me a moment.
And
Clunk.
they're doing this, and it's like a very serious moment, but then like if someone in like jogging shorts goes by. At one point, someone with a bike went by, and I know post-production, it dinged. I was like, they did not ding in real. That was not a ding-dong bike. Post-production is so funny, having this bike go ding, 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 ding. I mean, they
did. You just see a sobbing woman standing in the middle of a path. It's like, bring, bring, bring.
I was like that. I guarantee that 10-speed bike does not have like the same little dinghy as like the little girl's bike with the ribbons on it. But it was so funny. I don't know why it was so funny. Just, you know what was so funny? Because you know how amused that editor was in that moment. That editor was just like, I'm going to throw this little bike bell on here. And they're just chuckling to themselves. And I'm just like laughing for them.
I believe it happened. You know, we're used to Britney. I do believe it happened. Yeah, we're used to Britney, so to us, it's no big deal. But to someone on a bike, you're just like, oh my God, there's really bad weave and tears flowing out of a crazy person in wedges. Just make sure she doesn't walk in front of the bike. You know, bring,
bring, you are loved. So,
so she walks up there and she just stands there and gets bring that. And, he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? She's like, oh my God, please, I just need a 30-day break, okay? Oh God. So he comes up to her finally, he makes it up to her. And she's like, this is why I break up with you. I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired. And he goes, awesome, Britt.
Awesome. What?
What are you doing, Britt? What are you doing?
I just want to know what we're doing. I just don't know what we're doing at any time. I just want to feel safe.
I just think that's unfair. That's all I'm saying.
How is it unfair? Every single time I ask you what we're doing, you're just like, I don't know. Like, what would you do, Jared?
Well, I would just like to make a decision once and for all. And here's my decision. I would like us to figure this out.
Jared never gives me a straight answer to what are we? Where do you see this going? It always is some roundabout gaslighting answer that makes me feel like a crazy person for even wanting to know.
What do you want? What do you want from me? Do you want to be exclusively my boyfriend or do you not want to be exclusively my boyfriend? I can't tell. I just can't tell. And he's like, all right. Here's what I want. I want to be exclusively deciding on where to go.
I have decided that I am going to commit to knowing that you are very confusing. You are very confusing.
Okay, well, no answer. That's my answer. That's my answer. Do you want me to be your boyfriend? How about you be stable for a little longer than 5 minutes?
I'm so sick of this. So they...
I am stable. It's like walking down, sobbing everywhere with a wedge broken.
You know what I hate about the "You Are Loved" thing is that, like about 9 months ago, I was listening to The Moth on the radio, which for people who don't know is like a storytelling show that's on NPR, and Ronnie was on it because they do local things. I just want to point out, shout out Ronnie for being on The Moth. So there was a lady who told just an absolutely beautiful story. She's like she's in her 80s. She met a guy in his 80s. They sort of fell in love, and they had this whirlwind 5-year romance maybe before he passed away. And he would do all these lovely things. And among the things he would do is he'd always leave like a note, like for her that said, "You are loved." And I was just like, oh, it was so beautiful. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that for Dom. I'm going to leave a little note for him one day that just says, "You are loved." And I was like, oh, I can't wait. I'm going to do that. It'll be so lovely. I never actually did it. Because I always forget. I kept forgetting to write the little note, but I'm like, I'm gonna do that. I'll do that tomorrow. I'll leave the note, and then here comes Jared fucking Osmond with "You Are Loved" in the unicorn, and now it's all ruined. Now I can't even do my romantic gesture that I was too disorganized to actually do in the first place. But he ruined the "You Are Loved" thing, and I'm so mad about it because I was gonna do it at some point.
I don't like "You Are Loved" because I feel like it's just so non-committal. It's like, oh hey, you're loved by who? You? It's just so like you're basically loved. Like I'm sure someone loves you, not me.
If you had heard, let me tell you something.
I love you. It's a you are loved. Like what the hell, bro? You can't even say I love you. We've gone on 2 dates.
I'm telling you, if you'd heard this story from The Moth, you'd be like, that was the most beautiful thing you'd ever heard. In the context of The Moth, it was so beautiful and it was so sweet. But the thing was, I was in New York when I heard it. So then by the time I got back to LA, it was like if I had been in LA when I heard it, I would have been like written it down right away. But then every time I think about it, I'm like at the gym or something. I'm like, ugh, I'll have to write that note when I get home. And I never wrote the note. I'm like, I'm going to do it though. And when I do it, it's going to hit. It's going to hit so bad. And now Jared Osmond has ruined literally the most beautiful romantic gesture that I theoretically was going to do one day.
So romantic. All right, so let's go over to Bronwyn and Todd at their place. And Todd is writing on a little post-it, "You are loved." And then he puts it on the TV over Matlock's face.
He's written it on his Palm Pilot.
Back, buddy. All right.
Hold on, I'm playing Minesweeper on my Palm Pilot. I'm just gonna if I hit the bombs correctly, it'll say "You are loved." Hold on 1 second, Bronwyn.
So Bronwyn tells us, after I asked Todd for a little space, he was reaching out to me and telling me that he misses me and thinking about me. And then we see 1 day earlier, Todd calling Bronwyn while she's in the car. And he's like, "Good to hear from you. This is crazy. I can hear you out of this soup can. They should really make these in every office. Could you imagine just being able to pick a soup can tied to a string and be able to talk to whoever you want?"
Todd, you could have just texted me all this time. I know, but do you know how annoying it is to tap 3 times just to get to the C? Well, Todd.
I don't trust a Morse code. Do you know how many subs were sunk due to Morse codes being misunderstood?
So Bronwyn's like, well, I saw your text this morning and saying that you want to come home tonight. And I think that if you are ready to come back, I've come down. And it's probably a good time to come back, but I do expect to talk about this in person. Okay, baby girl? I don't like it when you call me baby girl. Well, then we're going to have an issue.
And he's just sitting on the couch with his arms folded right under his nipples.
Sliding off slowly.
Sliding off.
When you slowly slide off a sofa.
He's just looking all miserable because he knows what's coming. He's like, oh, God, here we go. A relationship scene on the telly.
So Todd, what's going on? Moving and grooving. But enough about my bowels. Tell you one thing, Fiber One does magic. What's going on with you?
Well, obviously, I was really upset last week, Todd. He says, yeah, well, so was I. What do you think about that? So was I. And she's like, well, you were upset too. Okay, I can see that. And uncomfortable with what was said on Twitter. Okay, but the bottom line is I ended up feeling that I wasn't good enough. Okay, that's how I felt. I just felt that I wasn't good enough, Todd.
Well, I'm going to stop you right there. What's Twitter?
In the past, Todd kept something from me that made me question how important I was to him. Okay. And so we see a flashback to last season where Bronwyn's telling the girls that there was infidelity and Gwen caught him texting somebody. But then we don't see in the reunion the clip of her saying, no, there was no infidelity. That was, I blew something up or whatever she said. Like I just got upset and I was exaggerating. What did she say? She said something like that. And I wish they had included it all for completionist sake. Okay.
Whoa. It was like emotional infidelity, maybe. But she says, you start to spiral and think, I'm not pretty enough. I'm not fun enough. I'm not sexy enough. I'm not there enough. I'm not willing enough. I'm not baby girl enough. I don't know what it is, but you just start thinking that I'm not enough. And my partner's looking for something different. And that is just like, it's not him violating my trust, but it does stir all that up again. And she goes, Todd, I am as in this with you as I can be. And I love you as much as a young woman can love an older man who loves to have his arms crossed and is slowly sliding off of a sofa. And I'm as open to whatever would make you happy that is possible for me to do. But if you wanted to do something different or have an arrangement or be open or whatever else, I would consider it. I mean, if you need me to dress up like a life-size Werther's original, I will do it.
Well, look, here's the thing, okay? You and I have been together 11 years. That's about a tenth of my life. And we've had a lot of ups and downs. We've had a lot of leaks. But, turmoil, challenges. Remember that time you tried to get me to go pee-pee on pads in the bedroom? That was hilarious. But the thing is, we've always been able to talk through it. And this time we didn't even talk. I had to go to bed mashing my own carrots.
You know how hard it was for me to walk up that little staircase up to the bed with a frown on my face? Todd, that's for the dogs. Well, I use it too.
I paid for this scratch post and I'm going to scratch it.
Do you know how hard it was for me to get myself out of that big circular ball that was running around the house? And Todd, that was for the hamsters. Well, it was for me too, and I liked it.
By the way, where are our dogs? Where are they? Has anybody seen our dogs? This is crazy. I like that she was so embarrassed by her dog scenes last year that she's just like, get rid of the dogs. Get rid of them all, put them all down. Or they're like stuck in a room somewhere. It's like, keep the dogs out of here, okay? Lock the dogs up and bring out Muzzy.
I'm pretty sure I feel like Muzzy probably scared the dogs away. She's like, oh, really? Whatever Muzzy's weird voice is, like, get in the closet. And turned her into Tia. But, that's just the way it is.
So listen, we had a talk the other day. We both came in hot as Pop-Tarts in the morning. But you know what? I can admit when I was wrong. And I was wrong. Okay? I never should have been texting duties to somebody. Okay? But I figured she showed me her boobies. I should show her mine.
Yeah. So that's why I did it. You keep on going because I got lost.
Oh.
I'm lost.
I just want you to know I'm very happy being with you and the relationship we have.
It's like, well, what I was trying to make very clear is that there's no weirdness or shame around figuring out what works in your sex life. And he's like,
oh, geez, could we stop? I've already got my pinchers on my nips. I don't want to talk about this on television.
Well, and I also wanted to tell you I did have a good conversation with Whitney, and I talked about you and I's sex life. That's nobody's business, okay? I don't know why things related to me can't be left in this house. Why do they always have to be shared with a group of untrustworthy friends? Now, excuse me while I take my oversized Palm Pilot and flirt with someone in a public space.
I don't know what to say about that, Todd. I just don't know. Okay, just to discuss this part really quick. Look, again, Todd, I think, is a grumpy asshole. If Bronwyn left Todd and was like, listen, I need someone who's going to be more open, be on TV with me, whatever, I think that that's completely fair for Bronwyn to want that. And if she wants that, I think she deserves that, Like, she can get on my nerves sometimes on the show. But I think she's a good lady, and I think she's great on this show, and I think she deserves the best from a man. But I think that what he's saying is like, why are we talking about, like, we agreed to not be talking about this shit on TV, and now you're going to Whitney and having a talk about our sex life? Like, come on, man. Like, how much of this, how much? It seems like a lot of the partners on this show do back out of doing it, and they're like, I'm not doing this. This is embarrassing and I'm not doing it. So I'm not sure why he's not just backing out of this and being like, I can't do this. Like, no one wants to think of my fupa on national TV.
I know.
No?
Yeah, I am a little concerned for these two because I think that Bronwyn has a right to be able to talk to a friend and share and connect. And I do feel like her scene with Whitney was a genuine scene. It was not a scene made for reality TV. I think she was like really trying to connect about this real issue that she's having. And they really were bonding. And that's why so many people in the audience responded so well to it because it was such an authentic scene. So she's fully entitled, I think, to be able to reach out to her girlfriend. I also think that Todd is entitled to be like, hey, when we started our relationship, like these were our parameters. We kept certain things behind closed doors. And now suddenly this is not only just beyond, like not only are the closed doors open, they're open and the whole world has come in. And I'm not comfortable with that. That's tricky too. But also, so I actually do have sympathy for him on this. I have to imagine that there was a conversation, or I would love to know what their conversation was before embarking on this show. When she said, hey, they want me to be on the show. This is something I'd like to do. We're going to everything's to be out there in the open. Was there a moment where he said, yes, but I don't want to talk about these things? Or did he say, okay, I'm an open book? I'm curious to know what that was like, because it seems like they're not aligned, and that's going to be a problem for them. That's a fundamental problem for them going forward.
And it's like they're talking so much, but they're not talking at all because we really don't know what happened. There was the thing last year, which I've already mentioned, which is he had an affair. Okay, he didn't have an affair, but he did something. Okay, well, maybe he was talking to someone. We never really found out. And then this year, he was on the plane looking at pictures of somebody, like sexy pictures of somebody. Okay, and that was seen by somebody who put it on Twitter. What were the pictures? Who was he talking to? Was it an affair? Was it him looking through an OnlyFans? What was it? We still don't know. So it's really hard to nail down what's going on here and pick a side, because normally my side is automatically going to be Bronwyn's because he's like some grumpy old asshole. And I'm like, well, you're on TV and you need to buck up and stop whining. And also, if you're cheating, stop fucking cheating, you idiot. Yeah, I'm not going to choose his side if he's going out and having affairs. My point is, I don't know what he's doing. No one's telling me. Just tell me what he's doing. It's always a hint. I feel like what she does is she hints at something and plants a seed and then lets it grow wherever it is. And then later she apologizes and says, well, that's not what I meant. And I didn't mean it to be taken that way. And I just want to know the truth. Just tell me. Just tell me so I can rest easy at night. Okay. I don't like not being able to sleep because I don't know whether or not Todd cheated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think.
Could you imagine that's my life?
Did he or didn't he? What's happening here?
I think these two really need to figure some stuff out because, this is. I mean, that's hard. This is hard. This is like her career, and this is like her moment, and she needs to be honest with everything that's going on in her life. But also, it's hard. You never want to make your partner feel uncomfortable, and you want to respect their privacy and their wishes. And your partner should always come first. But at the same time, it's one of those things where she has, you want her to put, her partner's wishes first, but he also has to put his partner's wishes first. And her wishes are that she can flourish on this platform that she now has. This platform, this stage, this world stage. But it's hard. So they're gonna have to figure that out. Otherwise, it's not gonna last.
Because it seems like she's coming on this show to divorce him, right? But to me at least, it seems like she's coming on here to be like, okay, here's all the evidence. Here's why I want to leave this fucker, But then at the same time, I'm like, I don't think she's gonna leave him because I don't know. She seems to like Todd. Him. Yeah, she seems to really like him. So I don't know. And just tell me if he cheated. Just tell me. With who, where, what happened.
I just want to know. Exactly. I want to know what he was looking at, who it was. And by the way, who is the person who is hot for Todd out there? Just please make yourself known. Who is hot for Todd?
Admit it.
Who is oh yeah, landed this guy.
Yeah.
All right.
So he's like, well, what matters is we've talked about it and we're moving forward, okay? Please don't cry. And she's like, oh my God, can I even cry on Gucci? He's like, I guess you can. It's just fabric after all. Now, if she didn't leave him after that, she's not going to.
I know. So now Mary arrives at her church. The door is locked. So she's like, Lenny. So she comes in. Big Joe is there, her cousin. And so earlier we talked about how it's sad. It's hard to watch Robert Jr. because we know he's actively in real time in jail right now as of this recording. It's really sad because we know his struggle is still going forward. And you'd like to think that everything is fine, but it's such an ongoing process. What I was not expecting is Mary saying that she got in the car with Robert, and Robert was saying how he was really excited to come to church. He was really, really excited. And she was saying how they got in the car, and she looked over at him and was like, oh, you're high. And she's like, I'm not letting you come to church. And I was like, my heart just broke because I just didn't think it was going to happen that soon within the same episode, within the same kind of like little arc there. And God, it's so tough. It's really tough to watch. And she says that she's crushed. And, she's just hoping that she says, I have to keep on trusting and believing that his time will come. And when it does, he'll be ready.
So then we see Whitney and Heather in a car. And Whitney's like, well, I never thought I'd be invited back to Mary's church because I didn't think I'd see the day. But I'm so grateful. And I cannot wait to see her back in her element. And she's like, I might ask her, depending on who's in the congregation, if Lisa and Meredith are coming. And Heather's like, do you think they're going to show? Would they show the church? I don't know how I feel. Are they even part of the sisterhood?
And at this point, I was thinking, maybe Meredith won't be showing up because we hadn't seen her all episode. And some people online were saying, like, after the airport thing, like, oh, Meredith is probably suspended from filming or something or other. So I thought, oh, yeah. Wow, maybe it's true. Maybe Meredith really is. Maybe icon Meredith Marks has been suspended, but they're all wondering. And Whitney says, I don't know. If they walk into the church, it'll be like 2 whores burning. Whores burn in church, right? Isn't that a saying? Like no one sweats more than a whore burning in church. I was like, I thought the saying was like, you're sweating more than a whore in church.
No,
right?
She's sweating like a hoe in church.
Yeah, sweating like a hoe in church, but not like the hoe. But the whore's not burning.
Not burning,
right? She's just like, I think the idea is that like you're such a sinner that you're sweating out of guilt, right? Like yes. I think that's what Whitney is like. Whores catch on fire. Yeah, she's like has some sort of supernatural thing that she's attached to it. Watch out.
So everyone's showing up, and Heather and Whitney show up, and Whitney's like, we're going to church together. Can you believe it? So now they're like, oh, my God, none of them have been to this place except Whitney. And Heather's like, oh, my God, did she give you a heads up? Are Meredith and Lisa going to show their faces at church?
What will happen with this sisterhood? I want to point out that the phrase whores burning in church most directly relates to a biblical passage, Leviticus 21:9, which mandates that the daughter of a priest who becomes a prostitute must be burned with fire, which is, I think, a very different context than what Whitney says, that if a whore walks into church, she just gets burned alive. But I guess in Leviticus, it's like, no, if your dad is a priest and you decide to become a whore, you become a prostitute, then you must be burned with fire. So
good Lord, God, that Bible is just one happy. Let me tell you, the happiest chapter in the Bible, Leviticus. God, they just gave us some real humdingers, didn't they? Good Lord.
I mean, honestly, after Exodus, it's all kind of downhill from, like, let's be honest, right? Does anyone really remember the stuff that happens after Exodus? Leviticus, Numbers. Hello, Numbers. What's the most generic name for a chapter?
Well, Leviticus, I know, because that's the gay marriage. That's the gay, gays. Man should not lie with man or whatever. I think that's Leviticus.
Another reason not to pay attention to that entire book, right?
Yeah, just get rid of the book.
Just get right to Deuteronomy.
Leviticus should burn in church. That's who should burn in church.
I mean, they have a whole climax that happens on top of a mountain, okay, in the middle of the desert in Exodus. That's in Exodus, right? It's Exodus. It's like it's in the name.
I scrubbed it. I can't even remember a last season housewife storyline. I'm remembering Leviticus and Exodus.
That's all. And after that, everything is sort of like, I can't remember anything that happens after that. It's sort of like little stories that float in and out. But like, honestly, after the 10 commandments happen, it's all just kind of anticlimactic after that.
It's all dead to me.
Yeah.
It's all Leviticus to me, frankly. So Bronwyn's like, well, I was trying to pry that out of her buddy over here, Angie, and ask her if they were coming. So she doesn't know either. Whitney's like, yeah, we don't know if we're coming. Should we get our seats? She's like, oh my God, here they come, everybody. Here they come. Get ready to ice. So here they come, Meredith and Lisa. And Heather's like, oh, we were just discussing whether you guys would show up.
What a surprise. So Meredith tells us, I don't know why they're surprised to see me here. Maybe I should be surprised to see them here because I've been Mary's supporter, biggest supporter, in fact, for years.
How did you not know I was coming? Like, how would you not know? Because I'm coming. You know, you thought just you were coming? Why would just you come?
At this point, I don't care who likes me, who doesn't like me. I don't really give a fuck. Because, I'm here for Mari. And, maybe to have a little conversation with God and Jesus. And, maybe get some Wendy's afterwards. And that's about it.
So they ask Meredith about her toe, and it is sprained, so she's in a boot. And Heather goes, oh, is that from kicking Brittany?
She never touched Brittany. Neither did I, by the way. We're innocents.
Gotta love Heather trying to get a little raise in there. Remember when you kicked Brittany half to death? Oh my gosh, is your finger hurting from when you were holding that stone while you were stoning Brittany in first class? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
By the way, who showed us? Someone showed it. I'm like, there was a lot of drinking this weekend, but we definitely talked to a Bravo celebrity. I don't remember who. It doesn't even matter who it was, but they're like, look at this picture and guess who is staying in across the hall from me. And we looked, and they showed us a picture, and it was like a room service tray that had been, when you're done, it was like put out in front of the door. It was all Wendy's. And it was in fact Lisa Barlow. I was like, oh, okay, she is consistent. It is not for. Did you see that photo?
I did, but I didn't know it was literally Lisa.
I think it was Lou.
I thought it was just a joke. That's funny.
Oh, I mean, it could have been. Imagine I'm spreading untruths about Wendy's takeaway.
That's pretty funny, though.
I think it probably was her.
The church bells ring, so they go inside, and Lisa and Meredith take their own seats. And so everyone's dancing. It's a merry church scene, so it's very dancey, and they have a full band.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Yeah.
Wendy's like, wow, she has a golden microphone and a bedazzled Bible.
I'm excited to see Mary in her element. I know her so well, but because the church was closed, I haven't seen the most important part of her non-Greek life. So Mary gets on the mic, and she's just saying that she's rusty, and she's like, thank God for being here today, and I thank God for being saved, and I thank God with my mind that it stayed on Jesus, and I thank God that he's kept me from another day, just another day, and God gave me the right mind, God gave me love and peace and power, and this is our place, woo! And everyone's cheering, and it's actually quite stirring. I was getting excited just listening and watching, and then people are clapping and dancing, and it is fun to see Mary in her element. It's been so long since we've seen her in church that we sort of have forgotten about this entire side of her.
I mean, listen, I love a musical. So whenever the band starts and everyone starts dancing, I don't even care what's going on. I'll be into it. So she's saying that she feels she came into this world to be a messenger for God. And she's like, yeah, I don't really plan what I'm going to say. It just comes to me. I'm like, well, you know what? You might want to start making some outlines because I'm confused. I need more of a story. I need more of a linear sermon. I don't like just the God loves us. We love us. We paid our rent. We're back. Yes, God. We have it. We paid the water bill. Oh, yeah. And everyone's like, yes. So then her next thing is she brings up her mom, which I thought was pretty ballsy. Her mom just passed away. But, for people who haven't really taken any deep dive into this church or why it's controversial, you should because it's crazy. But she brings up her mom and talks about how sad it was that she wasn't invited to the funeral. But you're in the church that your mom considers stolen from her. So it's crazy. This whole scene is just fucking Looney Tunes. And that's why I signed up for this show.
Yeah, it was great. And everyone's kind of choking up in the audience, and not the audience, but in the congregation, and the cast members are choking up. And Bronwyn, they're all also, because we've seen a whole episode of the women going through things, they are now finding some sort of salvo in this spiritual moment. So Bronwyn's saying that, she's been having a lot of worries in her life about her parents and Todd and everything. And she's like, I think I really needed to hear from Mary that I'm going to be okay no matter what. And I think there's peace on my horizon. And also some Ovaltine, to be fair, some Ovaltine. And Mary's just going on. She just is preaching and preaching, and they're all, they're all responding. Lisa's like, I think churches all have one similarity. You're going to go fill a void because you have a need. And I think you can find joy in all faiths and joy in all religions, except for the Church of Satan. But we do make donations to them too. Yeah. What?
They say what? Just,
yeah, for real. Like the Church of Satan, if they ask for tequila, we're like, sure. Yeah, we don't discriminate.
I don't know if the Church of Satan was a real thing. I've always heard of Satanists, but I didn't know the Church of Satan was a real thing. And I did not know that they needed tequila.
The Church of Satan. Yeah, it's not literally Satan. It's basically created to say, morality isn't created just because you're with Jesus. I mean, they're actually kind of a good church. It's kind of a smart ass response to all the Christians in the world. It's not literally Satan. It's just saying there's religions, because religions get a lot of protection from taxes and stuff like that. So it's just kind of a way to protest real religion. But I think I think they're kind of like peaceful atheists poking jabs at regular religion.
And apparently they need tequila.
They drink tequila. Hell yeah. So Mary's basically she preaches to all the girls and everybody cheers. And Mary's like, bless every single one of them. And Heather's like, wow, the First Lady of Faith Pentecostal can dance. Look at her go.
And Angie's like, it's a spiritual experience. Oh, one thing we didn't talk about is that when they all arrived at the church, Angie knew everyone. Angie's like, oh, Auntie D. Oh, Paulette. Oh, how are you? She knew all the aunties. It was amazing.
So we cut to Lisa, and she's like, I'm going to die a fucking heat stroke. I'm practically on fire. And then Whitney's like,
see, I called it. 2 whores sweating in the church.
I have to say, that is 2 prophetic moments on the show. The other one being the horse that suffered an injury, but it was a toy horse. So Mary is says church is where you find peace and it's what you're looking for. And she just hopes that people get answers. And then they all gather around as a group and they do a group prayer together. And Mary asks the Lord to touch their hearts. And then they all start going, touch, touch, touch. So it was it's hard to recap that whole scene in church because it was just basically praise, but it was actually it was a nice episode. It was a very nice episode.
I mean, it was fine, but this was not the best episode of the season or of a Housewives. Stop trying to trick me, because then you just get me in here and I'm like, wait, what the hell? This wasn't the best anything. I feel robbed.
Last week's was the best of the season, I thought. Last week's was, I thought, excellent. But this was a good one. It was good. It's perfectly good. No duds on Salt Lake City. But that is it for this week's recap of Salt Lake City. Thanks everyone for being here, and catch us on the next episode of Watch What Crappens. Ronnie and I are going to go to church right now and do a group prayer. Bye.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
It's always a party on Allison Block.
Our way is the Amber way.
It's the Foster and the Furious. It's Amanda Foster.
It's always automatic with Ashley Auto. Put your hands together for Carly Clapp.
Get on the right foot with Chrissy Offit.
We never miss her call. It's Diane Call. Big yay, it's Emily Gauthier.
Aaron McNicholas. She don't miss no trickolas.
Hava Nagila Weber.
You'll never hide from Heidi Eleanor Jones.
I go, you go, we all go for Hugo.
Jamie. She has no last namey.
She's our kind of mess. It's Jennifer Messer.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's our favorite streamer, Caroline Peacock.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Get a bee in your bonnet with Lacey B.
Que sera, whatever will be, will Lauren Silsby.
She gets an A from us. It's Lindsay D. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. Fresh as a daisy, it's Maisie McHenry.
We love her on the rocks. It's Melissa Cox.
Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
This is Livin' with Michelle Vivian.
I love ya, Olivia Williamson.
She sure is swell. It's Raquel.
Yes, we canna. It's Savannah.
Cast a spell with Shannon Spellman. Let's share with Sharon Eldridge.
Darn Skippy. It's Tippy.
And our super premium sponsors.
Make way for AJ Lopez.
She's VVIP. It's Amanda V. Can't lose when you're with Amy Baldwin.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Put us on a stretcher. It's Charlotte Fletcher.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Who, what, why, where, and Gwen Pentland.
Let's go into the woods with Guy Tubbs.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. Hail the cork master, the master of the cork, Jennifer Corcoran. We got our wish, it's Jen Plish. She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo.
She's a total knockout. It's Katie Manock.
We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley. In the study with a candlestick, it's Leslie Peacock. Gee, it's Lisa H. We're ride or die for Lisa Ryder Barron. She's a whiz, it's Liz Sarthy. Always killing it, it's Lola Alkalani.
The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
She eases our woes. It's Melissa St. Rose.
There's a chance of meatballs. It's Rebecca Cloud.
Maximum love for Sandy Maximoska. She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke.
We cannot tell a lie. It's Sarah Tellefson.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Please don't stop, it's Soli and Pop. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
We're obsessed all with Tessa V.
You'll always get the full story with Tori Parsons.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.